Hey, what's up guys? SeeJayAre here today with really kind of a special video to me. I guess you can kind of call this another Dream Quest episode. Basically I ordered, over the past couple of months, I ordered some games from a guy named Gary Walton, who's based out of the UK, and what he does is he makes custom Dreamcast games and cases. So going through this Dream Quest, for those of you that don't know, I'm trying to complete my Sega Dreamcast collection. My goal is to get to the 248 or 49 with the limited edition Sonic, if I decide to pick that up. It's my goal to complete that. I'm about 30 away now. There are some games that I really wanted to play that were Japanese or European exclusives that didn't come out in North America. Instead of buying those or trying to track those down, the few games that I do want, there's probably 20 to 30 exclusives that didn't come out here that I'd like to pick up. I actually found this guy named Gary who makes reproductions, and he actually makes them. So if there's a game, I'm going to show you here in a second, but say a certain game came out in the UK that wasn't available in North America, he'll actually make a custom North American NTSC case for that exclusive game. So basically that's what he does. He does really great work. I'm going to put his the link to his Flickr page in the description below, and it shows kind of examples of the work that he does. And then I'll put his email address below. If you want to contact him and ask him about pricing, his pricing is completely fair. Basically, you're just paying him for the time that it takes to make these. So I'm going to jump right into this. I'm really excited to have these. Like I said, I've been kind of slowly picking them up over the last couple months, and I've almost got almost all the ones that I've wanted to pick up. So without further ado, I'm going to start off with 3 games here that were never released on any Dreamcast system. These games were basically ready to go, and they were canceled. The first of which, and probably one of the best examples of Gary's work, is Propeller Arena. Propeller Arena is like it's a flying game. It has I believe up to 4 players. Yeah, up to 4 players can play. It's kind of like a dog fighting game. So the main reason for Propeller Arena not being released is it came out right, or it was supposed to come out right after the whole Two Towers incident in New York in 2001, I believe. So they actually canceled the game just because it's a flying game, and I guess, I don't know, you could fly into buildings, and they didn't think that it was appropriate. Anyways, Propeller Arena, it's actually a really fantastic game, and I'll show a little close up here, but just the detail. This one actually, some of these games he actually makes a manual and everything. So he puts a lot of work into these, and it's very cool to own this game because it's actually a really cool game. So that's Propeller Arena. Next up is a game that was released on the original Xbox, but never made it to the Dreamcast. The game was pretty well finished and ready to go. I played this for a couple hours, and it's actually a really good version. The graphics are really good. It's Toe Jam and Earl 3. And again, you can see basically Gary will, if you want it in PAL or the Japanese case, he can do that for you. He's really good. He's really easy to work with. He's actually a really nice guy. He's a Dreamcast enthusiast. He knows a lot about he knows pretty much everything about these games. So he was able to answer all the questions I had. And yeah, it was really a great experience. Toe Jam and Earl 3, Mission to Earth. Like I said, never released on the Dreamcast. And the last one here is one that I was really excited about. It's Half-Life. And again, this is one of the ones he really goes all out on and makes a manual and everything. And I played through this for a little while, and it's actually quite a good version. The load times are pretty bad. But I don't remember. I didn't play it on the original on the PC, so if it was CD-ROM on the PC, it's probably similar. From what I looked it up a little bit online, and it's apparently supposed to be a pretty decent version. I mean, I thought it was a decent version, but I'm by no means an expert on the original Half-Life. So you can kind of see there. Very, very cool. So Half-Life. Very pumped to have these. The next two here are something I had never even heard of until I checked out his Flickr page and saw these on there. They're part of the Beats of Rage series. This is XMen Beats of Rage. And basically what the Beats of Rage are is they're homebrews. These are available on the internet. You can. I had somebody comment on my page that they didn't think it was right that Gary was profiting from homebrew stuff, but you're not paying for the game. If you want these games, you can download them and burn the ISO or play them on an emulator. This can be played on an emulator. These can all be played on emulators. What I was paying for is the case, the artwork. A lot of work goes into these. I can't do this, so I was more than happy to order these games, and I'm this one especially. So X-Men Beats of Rage. Basically, they take the backgrounds from the X-Men arcade game, and then they use the sprites, the character sprites, and the animations are all from I believe Marvel vs. Capcom series or Marvel vs. SNK, those fighting games. So you've got these really big, detailed characters in the basically in the original X-Men arcade game, and it's really freaking cool. This was very cool. You can play 2-player, so it's a really fun beat 'em up. And the next one I have here is the Beats of Rage Mega Remix, which has a whole bunch of the Beats of Rage games. It's got Beats of Rage Extra, Hatchet Ninjas, Rage of the Streets, Dragons of Rage, Alien vs. Predator, which is just a demo. Basically, it's the Alien vs. Predator arcade game, like a remix of that. It's really good. Hyper Final Fight, Hyper Final Fight 2, and Double Dragon Extreme. So same concept. Basically, they take the backgrounds and then they use sprites from somewhere else, usually fighting games, which are usually more detailed and have really cool animations. Okay guys, next up I have a stack of 5 games that were only available in Japan. I don't believe they had a European release. If they did, let me know in the comments below, but as far as I know, these were Japanese only. The first one here is a really cool game. It's called Twinkle Star Sprites. It's a 2-player competitive shmup. So basically, you got 1 player on one side and player 2 on the other side, split screen. And as you attack and kill enemies, like if you defeat a boss, the boss will send over like its remains or it's like a fireball, fiery mess over to your opponent, and your opponent has to dodge. Basically, you're trying to screw over your opponent, and by just playing the shmup. So it's just a really cool addition to the typical arcade shooter. Yeah, very Japanese, very colorful. Very cool characters. Yeah, I highly recommend this one, Twinkle Star Sprites. Next up is a game that I've been really wanting to try for a long time. Remember back in the day, I was trying to burn an ISO copy of this just to play it, but I couldn't find it. So that is Cosmic Smash. Basically, it's like squash mixed with Rez. If you know what Rez is, I'm going to show you in a second because I picked that up too. Very, very cool arcadey tennis kind of squash game. It sounds really weird, but it's really, really fun. Cosmic Smash. Really happy to have that in my collection. And next up is one of my favorite Dreamcast games, a Japanese only, and it is Rez. You can get this on the the 360 Xbox Live Arcade. There was a PS2 version of this released, but it's really nice to have the original Dreamcast version. And I believe with the Dreamcast, you could hook up, back in the game, you could hook up multiple controllers with their rumble packs, and you were supposed to put them, I think, 2 on your feet and 2 on your hips or something like that, and place them on parts of your body. So when you hit certain things, it's an on-rails shooter like Panzer Dragoon kind of thing. And as you would hit, it makes beats, and the controllers would vibrate. And I guess it was supposed to give you a better experience. I remember hearing about that when it first came out. But I really love this game. This is definitely one of my favorite Dreamcast games, easily in the top 5. On-rails shooter, very like futuristic. You're in a computer, I believe you're trying to find a virus, or you are a virus. Just a really highly stylized game that everybody needs to play. super happy to have a copy of that in a really nice NTSC cover. Next up here is Ikaruga. Probably one of my favorite shooters of all time. It's very tough. It's got a really cool mechanic where you've got black and white enemies and bullets, and what you can flip in between. So basically, if you hit a button, you can absorb the white bullets and they won't damage you. If you flip back, you can absorb the black ones and they won't damage you. So you it's a really cool added-on mechanic to the shmup genre. This was also available on the GameCube, which I picked up. Getting very expensive. Definitely one of the coolest shooters of all time, in my opinion. That's Ikaruga. Another Japanese shmup that didn't come out here is Trigger Heart Exelica. I don't have a whole lot of experience with this. I played it for a little bit, but I can't tell you a whole lot about it. It's a very cool shooter, and it's one of the more highly regarded shmups. So yeah, Trigger Heart Exelica. Very cool artwork. Yeah, I'll show you guys in the window there, but you can see the artwork is also on the disc. Very cool, and it's very professional. Actually, it looks like it's from the factory on most of them. It's not a cheap sticker or anything like that. Okay, next up are a couple games that were PAL exclusives. I'm sure these came out in Japan too, but I kind of associate them with PAL exclusives. And the big one here, one of the games that you guys are probably going to be most interested in is Shenmue 2, which didn't get a North American release on the Dreamcast, but it did on the Xbox. So I believe it has a full English translation. I think some of the English just for size wise, and I think it may have been taken from the original Xbox, the voice dub. I don't know. I'm not exactly an expert on this game, but it's 4 discs. Really nice package here. You can see the artwork there. It's in a fat case, and to have this as an NTSC style, very, very cool. I like the European cases; they're cool, but it just, to me, it looks more uniform, and I'd rather have it this way. Shenmue 2, Evil Twin. Evil Twin is a Ubisoft game. It's like a 3D platformer, kind of very dark, kind of horror game. I think it's a couple comparisons I heard to Psychonauts. Very, very cool characters with a lot of depth. A lot of time was taken put into these characters. Very, very cool characters from what I've been playing so far. Evil Twin. Space Channel 5 Part 2. I just decided to get this one. I'm not a huge Space Channel 5 fan, but it's basically like a rhythm game. Part 2 never made it to North America. I just figured that was something that kind of needed to be in the collection. And the last game here that I picked up was another one that didn't make it to North America. It's a fighting game, Fighting Vipers 2. Fighting Vipers is kind of like a Virtua Fighter series. That's what it looks like to me, at least. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I just felt like the fighters on the Dreamcast are fantastic, and I really wanted to add this one to the collection. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of me showing off these custom NTSC Dreamcast games. As I said, you can get them in NTSC, Japanese, or European format. His Flickr page has a whole bunch of examples of some of the games he has. If it's not on there, he can do other. He takes custom orders. So I'll leave a link to all Gary's information in the description below. And feel free to check out his page, and feel free to check out my Facebook page, my social media. Add me on Instagram at SeeJayAre. You can find me anywhere at SeeJayAre, PSN, Xbox Live, Wii U, anywhere on the web at SeeJayAre. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and till the next episode.